What up, G Life fam? It's your boy MC Shadow. Now, what I wanted to talk about, but make sure you guys subscribe, comment, like, check out the playlist and everything like that. Now, what I wanted to talk about is the gang culture. You know what I mean? Um, and explaining all the gang culture and everything like that. Because I see a lot of people, talking a good one, like haters do. Now, here's this is my opinion only. My opinion only. You know what I mean? And pay attention to this part. Now, I have heard different versions of this depending on the OG. Like I have said, every neighborhood has their older homies, and their homies are gonna tell different versions of the story. That is just how it goes. Like I said, as gang members don't have the best of memories from back then, running around with the drugs in our system, the alcohol, and all the fucking desmadre. We're not gonna remember everything. Everyone remembers the fucking version differently, homie. So it depends who you talk to. So just because you know an OG who told you this version of the story does not make it the true story. God damn it. It could be from the same neighborhood. They're going to have different versions of the story. So what makes your version the right one, the exact one? That's why I always say this is just from who I heard it from and just my opinions and what I heard. That's why I say you know what I mean? I'm not saying that that is the version of the story. I'm saying that that's the version that was told. Because everybody has different versions of it. God damn it. The ignorance on people is crazy sometimes. Now, you know what I mean? So that's just what I'm saying. Because I know people, you know what I mean? Like, nah, it happened like this. Oh, how do you know? Oh, an older homie told me. Like, well, yeah, an older homie from that same neighborhood told me this. Oh, well, that fool was wrong. What makes yours the right one? I could say the same thing and we're going to go back and forth. So I take everything with a grain of salt. Like, all right, what you want. You know what I mean? Anywho, even in documentaries, that's why there's so many documentaries about the same thing, and each document is different. Like I said, people are gonna remember the things differently. Anywho, so let's talk about the gang culture. You know what I mean? Because I see that people say that, oh man, it's fucked up how these youngsters are letting the gang culture go to waste, or um, it's not like how it was before. Look at the way they dress, and look at that. Like, first of all, if you look at the old school pictures from back in the days, a lot of them homies' pants were tight and shirts were tight and small. You know what I mean? None of them were bald, and none of that. You know what I mean? That was not the gang culture. So how did they let the gang culture go to waste? That's what I don't understand. You know what I mean? That's not what the gang culture was. You know, like since the beginning of gangs, homies were long hair or had a bunch of hair or had fades or were bald or whatever. It's the same shit. There's nothing different about it. You know what I mean? Homies dressed like paisas. Homies wore baggy clothes. Homies were just casual. That's how it's always been. Members like that have existed always. It's nothing new. You know what I mean? And homies had different way of talking even since back then. That's just the way it was. Because that's how they were raised. It's all about your heart and your balls. That's it. That's the only thing that matters. Now, why? As a matter of fact, you know how they said, like, oh man, all gang members are bald. All gang members are not bald. I don't even know where the fuck that came from. As a matter of fact, even back then, you know where the nickname Pelon came from? It's because that was the only bald motherfucker in the group. No, so nobody was bald. So what are you talking about? Obviously now homies became bald. Obviously, the military structure. You're a soldier, so they cut the hair. That's where that comes from. Not only that, but when you fighting, you don't want to have like long hair because they grab your hair and shit like that. You know what I mean? Um, Not only that, why homies' pants started getting why clothes started getting bigger, like baggy clothes, was because back then the laws were different. So back then you were able to chill with your homies and stand on the corner with bats and chains and crowbars and shit like that. The cops wouldn't tell you nothing. But with all the fights and brawls and everything that would break out, so now you see them posted out there with that shit, man, you're gonna have to arrest them. You know what I mean? So what did they do? They started wearing baggy clothes to conceal their weapons. You know what I mean? So that's where that comes from. um you know what I mean? So that's why that ended up happening. oh well, why Dickies or Ben Davis and everything like that. That's actually an inside joke. Is get it? Like that was the working. Even their logo and what it is, it's the clothes for working men that were gonna go to work. Um, that's what they would wear. That's what they wanted to attract. So that's who the clothes was mainly targeted to working men. So you're gonna go put in work. So that's where that comes from. Um, White Cortezes. Cortezes, I don't know if you guys know this. In the Olympics, it was one of the first running shoes and the best running shoes. The best running shoes. You know what I mean? If you look at the old school Olympic, the running marathons and everything like that, look at the shoes that they're wearing. They're wearing Cortezes. They're the best running shoes. Now, when you're on the block and you'll be running from cops and everything, what are you gonna want? The best running shoes. So that's where that comes from. Long socks, obviously to conceal the contraband because they were able to search your pockets and stuff like that, but they weren't able to search your socks. Or why search your socks? You know what I mean? Depending on the laws that were established back then, that's why the long socks was a thing because you're able to conceal because they could check your shorts and everything like that. Can't check your socks, so that's where you conceal the contraband. Obviously now laws have changed and everything like that, but that is the reason for that. You know what I mean? The reason for those things. So at least that's what I was told. I know a lot of OGs from different neighborhoods. Whether it's my homies, my older homies from Wyfens, my older homies from VNE, my older homies from my barrio, my older homies from Florence, my older homies from 38, my older homies from Sanford, my older homies from Violent. It doesn't matter. I know a lot of older heads. You can believe what you want. I don't give a fuck. I'm only telling you, what it is, what I have heard, pues. You know what I mean? You know, because I honestly don't care what people believe or they don't. But just giving my take on it, my opinion for it, and just wanted to do a quick one because I get comment that I see that in the comment a lot where it's like, hey man, why do they wear this, or why is it that, why do all you guys dress alike, or that's just a quick little breakdown on why that is, or why I was told what it is. Everyone has different styles, like I said. Not everyone dresses alike. I guess that comes from the movies. I guess because the movies make them all the same, or I don't know, or like stupid comedy jokes like Baby Joker or Little Moco, or that's not a real gang member. People have to keep it in mind that that's just a character that they're playing. They're comedians who are um, just portraying their character. That's not how it really is. So that's what's up with that. You know what I mean? And shout out, we out.